Okay, hey there guys, so today's war is up against SSX for the second time this season. We got a rematch. We got two rematches actually for the final two wars. I'll try to get out the final war pretty soon, but as you can tell, this is actually going to be a pretty long video. It's not even that many fights, oddly enough, but so I guess it's a long video, so grab a snack and strap in or whatever, I don't know. It's going to be a long one though, so we're going to start off here on path 9. I'm going to be using the Cassie there, not long shot, because if you use long shot, not torch. Not going to be using torch. If you torch a long shot in this meta, you're going to have an awful time. Technically, without this tactic, I wouldn't feel great about doing torch for long shot, but it'd be possible. But with this meta, it would suck. So we're going with Cassie, so I just need to get up my power stings, just some debuffs early. Just really any hits, some blocks, some dashes, anything, just to get the withers up, because I don't want those incinerates to do damage. I just want to heal from them. The two things to really note for this fight are just not phasing his SP1, and then I had thought about if I was going to spam SP1s or if I'm just going to hold SP3s, because those are pretty much the two options there, because of that indestructible one. And after that, I was like, you know what? Yep, we're gonna keep holding on to that power, because I don't want to be dealing with that. Right there, I should have had a poison up. I should be trying to get a poison up at some point by well before now. But yeah, I was going to get one up there. But I needed to get a poison up earlier. Much earlier than that. And then, I don't know if it was controls or something, but you'll see it for the rest of my play in this war, is I'm going to block or attempt to block a lot when I should be or am trying to dex. So, you'll see that at some points. So, I'm actually getting the poisons up, and the power stings are sticking, so this fight's now going pretty well. I still have so much fuel. I haven't even actually used that much, so I just kind of take a very risky / wasteful fuel there, because just trying to get up the damage really. And yeah, I'm holding it for 4 seconds. He should dash in at some point there. And if not, I could just throw the heavy into him. I'm at full health, and I'm going to continue healing. Even though he has despair, I should be healing for most of this fight, so that's why I'm just staying at 100% pretty comfortably. Do the same thing there, and right here I just need him to throw one special. Of course, he's going to start being a little bit passive. I should probably just drop a poison here is what I should have done. That would have been very prudent of me, but instead I'm just going to hit him. I do go for the 4-hit light combo. I do like using that a lot with Cassie, if I'm being honest. And I'm just going to finish him off with some hits. Nearly a 2-minute fight, kind of slow. Going up here, that was path 9, going to go down to path 4 for my fastest, well, second fastest fight probably of this war. So I'm actually using my Absorbing Man in war. They really wanted me to get in some fights with him, so I'm actually kind of happy about that. He's a pretty fun champion to use. I actually didn't know about one of his abilities. Apparently, when you're holding block, if they hit into your block, you power steal or you power siphon some of the passive power they would gain, while as long as you're still holding block. So right here, I'm grabbing my energy refill because I'm going to need to refill, because there's a couple open spots I have to go up through. So do I put on the no, I use the power start 1 here? Yeah. I use power start 1 because I want to get my damage going really quickly, and then I was going to use the power start 1 for the Rintra up next there. I thought it would be a pretty good use there, so I start off with that SP1. I can do one quick heavy, throw SP1 is kind of my plan there for the Rintra fight, and then this fight, obviously, I'm using Magma. I'm going to SP2, so I'm just trying to get off as much damage as I can, as fast as I can. I want to try to stay close to get some of these armor breaks on me, because those are going to give me my charges. Those are going to pause my forms. It's going to, as you see, give me the charges. I learned a couple things about Absorbing Man last night that I should have actually been doing, so next season or whenever I start playing him again, hopefully I start doing a couple of those things a bit better. Just trying to bait out a special here, but he's just being a pain. As you can see right there is what I was talking about. His power stops. I get a nice little mid-ground light intercept off. So that's nice. I'm going to relic here. I should relic here. Yeah, I'm going to relic into heavy into SP2. Because if they're not stunned, you get, whatever you heavy with him, you get extra crit damage or crit chance. I'm trying to remember which one it is. But if they're not stunned, it doubles it pretty much. It's really crazy. And again, relics are not a stun, so it counts. So, Cassie here. There's a lot of things to pay attention to. I'm just going to spoil it. This fight goes tragically. Tragically. You're going to be watching this fight for the next nearly 5 minutes, and I'm still going to die. So we're going to talk about everything that I'm going to be doing wrong in this fight. talked about it with Triple last night because he's a pretty competent Cassie player, so I thought I'd get his opinion on some of it. He gave some good advice, and while I was watching it with him, I saw a couple things I definitely should have done better on. So the couple things to watch out for in this is I need to make sure my power stings stick, I need to keep his charges low, and I need to maintain my fuel as well as I can. So right there is something we talked about because he doesn't have charges, so I'm not in an immediate need to use my heavy. Also, I should be trying to get a poison as quickly as I can here. Again, he's at 0 charges. I should drop a poison. I do actually. Okay. What was he talking about for that part? But that's still fine. So I drop it, but I don't have a slow, so he actually goes unstoppable. He hits me. He gains his unblockable passive, but I'm about to get my second power sting, so he's about to go unblockable. He goes unblockable as I'm trying to block, so I get hit. I get double resisted there. I'm able to actually dex out of it somehow. What I need to do here is actually really kind of ironic. I need to feed him more charges. I'm trying to feed him charges so that way he can actually lose his charges pretty much. Right there, I was a bit unconfident with the spacing. I practiced my spacing for Rintra's SP1. Right there, I'm trying to dex back, but it's not happening. I'm just playing very poorly right here. I should have done a medium there, not a light. So I get off a lot of power stings there. I'm able to do an okay SP2. What I need to do here is if I'm going to relic here, I need to immediately... Oh, that was SP1. Why did I think that was a relic? I'm so stupid right now, I'm sorry. Yesterday, I was really out of... Not out of it while fighting, but I just felt kind of slow. So right there, I should have finished my heavy, because heavy into relic increases my damage technically, but there's no purpose to it. So I wasted fuel. I wasted power stings, and I should be using my relic to apply poisons, not to apply extra power stings. Because, right, if those 20 hadn't fallen off, if I'd used my heavy, I knock him down, he threw that special like he did. From that special, I drop a light, right? I do a light or something. I pause my power stings pretty much. Then I'm able to just kind of keep going, and I use my relic for my next poison or something like that. And then on these SP1s, I'm starting to actually be able to get that spacing down. That spacing's not as bad as it looks. The power sting took a massive chunk off, another big mistake. I thought it would be okay, or I didn't think, and I was testing it. Right there, I released early because, as you can see, I had only 5 fuel, so I really had to. He goes passive, and so I drop off 18 power stings. I have 6 charges on, so I get a really long poison onto him. He actually does throw it. So right here, what I need to do, I do kind of need to heavy there, actually, because I need to keep his charges low, especially if he's against the wall. When I use the relic, I should be applying a poison. That's another big thing. Anytime I relic, I should poison. I think it's about to happen again. So right here, I didn't think I had enough charges to do the full counter, so I just kind of play it slower. I back up, I get a poison onto him. Right here, I do go in for this, and that's actually not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea, but again, he gets that unstoppable. A big thing I should have been paying more attention to is not keeping him close to the wall when he gets those charges up. And here's where the fight is going to take its last south end. Because right here, I was I might actually be able to clutch this. I'm waiting for a good chance to try to do something, but he was not giving me what I wanted. So I'm just playing around. I lose my power stings. He's healing. I have all my fuel, but nothing really else going for me. He's going to throw it, so I'm okay, I got to get in here to do this. I got to get some damage going. And I need to drop that special. I needed to drop the heavy, and I also needed to wait for his charges to fall off. I couldn't really use my heavy there. That's pretty good. I would throw my SP3, but I have the power sting on me, and I would just die. So he throws another one. I'm okay. I don't have the fuel, so I'm going to still charge. Going to remove his charges. I'm okay, this is fine. And then, is it this where it's going to happen? I should apply a poison. Okay, I do. I do get a poison. Actually, I did a better job applying poisons than I thought, but I don't have the poisons on at points where I really did need it. Right there, I do another one without the slow in the wall, which, big mistake. Right here, actually, I probably could be hitting him because I actually have a slow. I should drop a 4 hit into poison. I do. Okay, that's fine. But it's this. It has to, yeah, okay, I can see in my video. That was what I was talking about, is those 2 or 3 times I get hit in that, I swear to you, I am trying to dex back, but you know that thing where when you're trying to dex, it sometimes parries them? It was one of those. I'm like convinced it was one of those. A couple times in that fight, and the same thing happened against Long Shot, I believe. I remember pointing it out in the Long Shot fight, but I'm trying to remember what it was that happened there. But so, for that fight, there's a lot of things that I did wrong, but the big things are, I used my relic very poorly, I mismanaged my fuel, and I did not apply poisons when I needed to be. I was like reapplying poisons, or there was just long stretches without a poison, so everything would fall off. Part of it, he did go passive at some points, but that's not necessarily like the full excuse I can just give. So right here, I just have to go back in. I'm like, I guess this will be fine. So I just go back in, apply the poison. Gonna go in, I'm gonna do my special full phase, get the 18 power stings up. I'm like, okay, I can still parry, so I think I'm just gonna parry. Yeah, just gonna parry, probably light. I should have SP1 there. I just should have SP1. That's as simple as it is. And honestly, even for just this finishing him off, I do it poorly because I get a rupture on me. I give him way too many stacks there. That was probably just from like apathy of like, okay. So it's a very, very poor death. It's 1-1 now because of me, actually. I was our only death so far in the war. And they were also only at 1 death. We were up on time, which makes it like a bit better, but it was not okay. So I'm like, okay, I have still one more Cassie fight left to do. It's on this hazard shift here against Doom. And I was checking something. What was it I wanted to see about her there? I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I meant to click heal. It was a misclick, that's what it was. So I'm going to put on the combat regen boost because I need the invul for my final fight. Trying to not waste the units there. As you see, I'm only at 800, so I don't want to use too many if I can avoid it. So I'm using the combat regen there, because unless I eat the SP like 3, I should be okay. His incinerates aren't going to tick on me. I actually have 2 points in inequity now, so practically the whole fight I should have a lot of damage reduction. But again, are you ready for a fight that just goes horribly, horribly wrong? So he dexes my heavy. I got a little bit too greedy there. Doom is known to be a very smart AI. So I air heavy, and I stun myself because I didn't throw it in time. And I have an incinerate on me. I'm just about healing from it because of the regen boost, but I need to be. So I realized that my dex is applying withers to him. So I start doing a couple dexes just to get the withers up for when this incinerate comes back around. And I'm feeling a little bit better, but now he has the aura up, so I can't heavy because he'll resist. So I need to get a heavy or a special off before his aura comes back up. I should just be throwing something here, anything. The reason why I did that was because I know I have the SP1. I shouldn't have even SP1'd. Again, this fight, I was so sure I was going to die. I am so sure now that I should have died in this fight. This is truly just atrocious play by me here, so if you're trying to learn something from this, this is just kind of what not to do. From here on out, actually, this fight does start to go very, very well. So I have the slow on him, or is it the... I had something on him so he doesn't get the his aura of Hazarath. So I'm going to throw my SP2 again to reapply the slow, because slow will prevent his aura. I did actually practice phasing his SP1, but I was not about to be using it in this fight because it has gone so poorly. Like, the fight with how it had started, I'm like, I'm not phasing his SP1. Just as simple as that. So, now the fight is actually going much, much better. I'm playing around his aura, I'm just healing from some incinerates. I hit his block to make him a bit more aggressive there. I charge a little heavy, take a couple hits in, use the SP1, got myself some openings there. Gonna apply the poison here. Again, this fight, the second half of this fight goes really well. But again, this first 50% took me just about 2 minutes to do. This next 50% is going to go down to the next like 45 seconds or something. Look at that, massive chunk. I have the 28 power stings up. Right there, I should have finished my combo to get off the poison, but I used the heavy into relic into light ender to get the poison up, so it is fine enough. Keeping my taunt active, I'm just throwing my SP1s, just as I said, trying to keep the slow going, trying to keep everything just like working smooth. I reapply the poison at a good time there, and he throws it. And as I said, that first half, really bad. That second half was actually pretty good. What happened that first half was just air heavy into the passive stun. And that's about as bad of a start to a Cassie fight as you can get. And I don't think I should have lived through that fight. I genuinely do not. So here's the fight I needed invulnerability on for. So it's the enhanced power gain aspect of evolution Mephisto. So if he gets an aura, it just rockets his power up, and he's just going to start doing so much more damage. So I put on the 33% and the invul. The 33% actually really isn't necessary for this fight because, well, it helps. So what this fight is, though, it's a rush. It's a who kills the other first. If he gets off 4 SP3s before I kill him, he would win, probably. But I don't think he should get off that much because, as you can see, my damage is already still pretty good just because of boosts and rank 4. Once he gets an aura going, he's going to gain so much power, but it's also going to feed me a ton of damage. So that's why I'm actually staying aggressive into his auras, which are giving him the power. Like, he's gaining so much power from this, especially that Mystic Dispersion burst. But right here, what I decided is, like, I'm going to go for a full 5-hit combo. I go for the SP2. He's already in his regen phase. I'm like, okay, I have Relic here. I have Relic and SP1. Full 5-hit combo. Relic. 5-hit combo. SP1. Boom. Didn't even need the invul. When we were talking about it, I was like, I think I could get away with that fight without an invul, and that was the strat I had, but I'm glad I did have it on just in case with how that war had gone. So we did end up winning this. So I still somehow have not died in a war we lost in Salty, I believe. No, that's a lie, actually. There was one. So that's a lie, sorry. But both my deaths this season, we still won those wars, so that's good. But I feel really bad being the only death this war, and especially that horrendous of a death. That fight, I don't want to say that fight's easy, but Cassie is probably the best option for it because her gameplay is so centric around heavies and, like, spacing that it makes so much sense for Rintra, so I feel really bad about that death. I'm going to try to improve on that, so for next season, I can hopefully Cassie some Rintras and not die, or Spider-Man some Rintras and not die. But massive shout out to SSX here, 3 deaths. It was honestly only 2. Like, it was honestly 1-1 until like the very end, I believe, and we had a massive advantage on time. So I assume those last 2 deaths were probably after the war was practically sealed up. So they played very well still. 3 deaths is very, very good. They've had a very good season. I think they're a little bit unlucky in their placement again, just because they've had some very good performances. Like 3 deaths would beat so many alliances. It would beat us for the past like 2 weeks. But today we played well. So that's all it is to it, I guess. So GG's to them. We're at our final war of the season now. I hope you guys have a great final war and some good rewards. So thank you for sitting through this. I know this was a really long one. So I'll wrap it up here, and I'll be seeing you guys again soon. Bye.